right, everybody, here we are. We're right on Rock Road. This is one of the, I don't like to say cutest places in town, but it really is a beautiful store. We're right at Carrick Mor. We're with Michael McGowan. Michael, thank you so much for having us in.
Thanks, Flavio. It's good to have you.
And listen, if anybody interrupts us, because it's getting close to St. Paddy's Day, there's no other place around to get these real, authentic Irish items. So if we get interrupted, there's customers that have been walking in and out, so we're going to do our best. If it gets interrupted, we'll be right back. So, Michael, again, thank you so much. And
Sure.
I wanted to talk a little bit about where were you born? How did you get involved in all this?
Well, I've had a lifelong interest in Ireland, for sure, Flavio, mostly because I was born there. At age 2, we came to America.
What part of Ireland?
In Donegal, which is in the northwest part of Ireland, a very remote place called Carrick. And
that's the namesake of the store.
The store is called Carrick Mor, when Carrick in Irish means rock, and
Okay.
Mor means big. So Carrick Mor means big rock. So we founded the store. We thought, Glen Rock, what other town do you know has a giant rock
You were destined
in the middle of town?
You were destined to come to Glen Rock.
It has like a dual meaning for us. Carrick is where I come from. Now, the store was founded not by my wife and myself, not just me. But we thought of this name together. We wanted it to be significant. So it's a Gaelic name also that's easy to pronounce.
Sure. Yeah, so all right, so you're born 2 years old. Your parents decided, was it like the immigrant story? Like,
yeah, it was a.
what were they doing in
My
Ireland?
dad was a lobster fisherman.
Okay.
The town is very small. It's right on the Irish coast. It's a hard life. It was 1972 when I was born. I think my parents realized even the lobster fishermen there couldn't really make a living. They had to kind of make a commune, basically, share their profits. So they decided to start a new life in America. I have an older brother and sister. We all came here, moved to Rye, New York. Started over. My dad had some relatives in the area and decided this was a better place for us. But I didn't go back to Ireland until I was 20. So it's a lot of years in between and not really knowing.
Did you have a lot of family there?
We had some family there, but we didn't keep in close touch.
Now, did they speak English or was it all Gaelic?
Well, in that part of Ireland, they do speak Irish, but they also speak English. And if you go there now, they'll speak English to you and Irish to each other.
Now, this is my own ignorance. Is Irish the same as Gaelic?
Gaelic is, mostly in Ireland they would say Irish.
Okay.
Because Gaelic also means Scots Gaelic, Irish Gaelic, Welsh Gaelic.
Okay.
There's multiple countries that are under that umbrella because the Gaels are in multiple countries.
Okay.
But in Ireland they'd call it Irish.
All right. So now you're living in Rye, 20 years old, you go back to, what did you think when you went back?
It was amazing to go back. We saw the house where we grew up. We saw people that knew us when I was a kid, babysat for us.
Aww.
We saw the place, the ship where my dad, fished off of.
It was still there?
Yes. So, it was great to go back, but, just to visit once every few years, we could make it back there.
Yeah.
But not, having been born there but not raised there, you have an interest. You have an interest that in all things Irish.
Sure.
That stayed with me my whole life.
And you could tell, obviously.
In reading. So I think, hi, how are you?
Hi there.
I'll just slip in and buy this while you
Okay,
visit.
can we pause it for a second?
Isn't this a beautiful store?
The one next door is too. Oh, I didn't
thank
realize
you.
you were
Morningside,
filming.
right? What's your name?
Oh, how embarrassing.
Oh,
What's your name?
don't worry.
My name is Helen.
Helen.
Thanks, Ellen.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Well, I like your cards. I like everything, but I do tend to come in and buy your cards.
Thanks very much. Comes to $4.74, Ellen.
The one I like the most has been sold.
Oh, really? Of the cards?
Yeah, it's
Which
the
one's
one.
that?
It's the one with the window and the geraniums
I know
in the
one with
window.
the green trim.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
it's blank inside.
Oh, okay, we'll get it back. That's
Let me
nice.
see what I have here.
Michael
How
will
much?
set you up. You'll get that back.
Comes to $4.74.
Great.
Thanks very much.
I'm sorry to have interrupted your
No,
filming.
it's
I just never noticed.
No, we love the
Forgive me.
endorsement. You like coming in here and shopping here. There's no other store like
26
this.
cents is your change.
Not anymore.
Would you like a bag for that?
No, it's
Okay.
fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello there. How are you?
Good.
We're just doing a little video here and speaking on a podcast.
Oh.
So
Oh,
you're
that's
welcome
okay,
to shop
that's okay.
completely, but we're just so you know what's going on.
You should have told me.
Sorry.
So here you are. You moved to Rye. You go back to Ireland, and then when you come back, how did you end up in Glen Rock? What was your...
Well, my wife and I got married in 2005,
Okay.
and she was from here, Riverville.
I keep forgetting. 72. You were
Yeah.
born in 72.
72, right? So I'm not a spring chicken. I'm going to turn 50 this year, but My wife grew up in Rivervale, and I wasn't familiar with this area at all. When we got married in '05, we decided we wanted to live in Jersey. We met online.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we just met online, Match.com.
Look at that. A little testimony. That we got to get them as a sponsor.
Well, it was basically very new at that time, and I think one of my friends had met someone and said, why don't you try that? So I did.
Wow.
And we met, and it turned out, but once you meet someone, it all just comes down to do you connect with each other?
Yeah.
And her family was Irish too. Her grandparents were all from Ireland. Wow. And she played the bagpipes, she played the fiddle.
So did you was that in your description?
It was in there,
okay,
what are your interests? Naturally, what are you interested in?
Great.
And both of us listed that. And she actually found me, because I was doing little searches around where I live in Larchmont or Rye, and I wasn't finding anyone. And she did a broader search and was living over in Maywood, New Jersey. And I heard from her, and we got in touch with each other, and we had dates, and eventually, it led to marriage.
Wow.
And
success
story.
That's
but then,
awesome.
when we got married, we decided we wanted to live here because I was working in New Jersey.
What were you doing?
I worked at Citigroup.
Okay.
And I'm in IT at Citigroup, and they had recently relocated us from the city out to New Jersey.
Okay.
It's like right around this same time, and I thought, okay, maybe I should be on this side of the river, but we didn't know where to live.
Right,
and one of my wife was a teacher at the time, and one of her friends recommended Glen Rock. So why don't you look there? It's a nice place, and she was living in an apartment on this street somewhere above Dunkin' Donuts or something.
Oh yeah,
just temporarily.
Right up Park Road.
Well, her house was being renovated. She says, why don't you check out Glen Rock? It's a nice town. It's cute. So we did. And we immediately found a place, and we immediately bought it. And it was the same. We moved into it 1 month after we got married.
What year was that? That was 05?
2005.
Nice.
So we have 3 daughters. You can see their pictures up on the wall there. You don't see them on the TV, but they've all been born, while we're living here. And so we live here. We love this place. We love this town. It's a great town to raise a family, of course. And in 2014, we realized there was quite a few empty storefronts here in town. Like there was 8 or 9. And we thought, what would we like to see come to Glen Rock? And we each thought Irish store. There had been a really successful one there in Ridgewood called Irish Eyes for a long time, like more than 25 years.
I remember that.
Which was kind of winding down or had closed actually in 2008.
Yeah, during the whole financial crisis.
Yeah, I think that the owner retired essentially.
It was probably a good time to retire.
So you get out of it. But in any event, we decided no one's going to do it unless we do, so we'll do it ourselves. So we found this place and figured out how to do it and opened the doors here in September of 15.
So you've been here since 2015.
Yes, going on 6.5 years.
And everything in here is like it's authentic for the most part. It's authentic, especially the apparel. I've always been a huge fan of Irish sweaters, hats, blankets. I mean, you can't get wool like that anywhere in the world.
You're right. Well, it was really important to us to do it in an authentic way. I mean, we've all come across import stores, even Irish import stores, that are not authentic. It doesn't come from Ireland. So from the very beginning, we thought we want to present Ireland in the best possible light.
Right.
Ireland is known for wool, for linen, for scarves, for socks, jewelry, beautiful artwork. So we wanted to have all of that and make sure you knew this is the real deal. And the most beautiful stuff, it's not easy to make these selections, right? You've got to find the vendors, you've got to make sure they're legitimate and good people to work with and reasonable price. And so we didn't know how to do any of this. We had never run a store before. But we thought, at the very least, we're going to put Ireland forward in the best possible light. And we'll figure it out from there. Then we'll be very open to listening to customers.
I like that. We had that customer that came in before who said, I was looking for a specific card, and okay, we'll get the card back.
Yeah.
And if a customer comes in and says, I was in Ireland 10 years ago and I saw this particular thing, is there any way you could find that?
Yeah.
They have that conversation with you.
We've done a lot of that. And actually, the funny thing is most people when they first came in here thought, where's the food? Like, do you have frozen food? They wanted sausages. They wanted bacon, black and white pudding.
We're going to get some good corned beef. And
well, if you notice on the wall, we have a big sign. We offer all that stuff now.
Oh, do you really?
We didn't open it. Like when we first opened, we didn't offer any of it.
So it's bangers. What's a rasher?
Bangers is sausages. Rashers is bacon. Black and white pudding is a kind of sausage. Black has blood in it. Some people call it blood pudding. Brown bread and butter.
Well, Kerrygold butter, that's one of our favorites. I mean, that's tremendous butter.
And
I can't believe that you have breakfast here. That's so cool.
And you can make yourself, in Ireland, when you go to visit Ireland, everyone has the Irish breakfast. And what is it? Eggs, sausage, bacon, black and white pudding, one piece of each, brown bread. You can make yourself.
So this is authentic. This is like an authentic breakfast.
And we sell it out of the freezer in the back. And ever since we opened, it's been the most popular thing we sell.
Really?
Here's my friend Bob. We're doing a little television show here, Bob, at the moment.
Bob, come on up here. We want to ask you some questions.
Bob Burke.
Okay.
This is the world famous Bob Burke.
Flavio, how are you?
My wife was reading the newspaper today, and it said Bob Burke from Glen Rock died.
Oh, come
no.
on now. No,
Yeah.
that can't
Well,
be
let's
right.
get him on the phone because
Well,
clearly,
Well, obviously, there was more than one.
We were speaking about Irish language earlier. Bob is a master Irish language speaker.
are you really?
Fluent,
Well,
and
I-
teaches at the Ridgewood Community School.
Yeah.
Really?
Lives here in Glen Rock.
So for anybody that's interested in really picking up or learning the Irish language, right? Because
Yeah.
we're talking about the difference between Gaelic and Irish.
Well, they're really the same. You know,
Okay.
that, in the Irish language, you would say, I speak Irish, the Gaelic agam.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so,
There is Irish at me.
yeah.
So how would you say, since this is going to
Ready?
come out around St. Patty's Day, how would you say have a blessed St. Patrick's Day?
Well,
You can leave any you'd like.
Or is there a traditional Irish?
yeah, la éile pádraig Hanaguch.
All right, we'll say that again because I want to make sure everybody gets it right.
Okay. La éile pádraig Hanaguch.
All right, so you guys need to listen. For you guys listening and watching, you're going to have to memorize that. Rewind this a couple times, memorize it, so when you come to see Mike, you can tell him that, and especially around St. Patty's Day. So tell us, you love the store?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I didn't come in here to buy anything. I just came in to say hello to Mike.
Wow.
That's what Irish guys do.
Ever since we opened, I mean, people come in here to talk. And you never sell
Oh, I
anything
do
in
like
here
the
without
brown
talking.
bread they sell.
I know. I can't believe they have brown bread.
Yeah, it's really good.
Well, I was just telling them about when we first
In
opened, we didn't
fact-
have it.
I just went to Kilroy's to get some of this
To go with
put
the
on the
brown
brown bread.
Oh, no, we sell jam, we sell jam. You don't have to go to Kilroy's. Get mine here.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, hey.
Now, were you born here in the States, or you
Yeah,
have an
yeah.
Irish background?
I wasn't born over there, and neither were my parents. My grandparents were.
Okay. So you have a lineage back there.
Yeah.
Have you
that's
gone back?
Oh, in 2003, I thought my command of the language was good enough that I could go to Inisheer, which is the littlest of the Aran Islands in the middle of Galway Bay,
Wow.
and spend 3 weeks there just walking around and talking to people.
Speaking Irish only.
But guess what?
No,
Didn't work out.
not so much.
First of all, it's a type of a dialect.
Right.
Be like somebody.
It's like going to Sicily and talking Italian to Sicilians.
That's true.
Yeah, or somebody learning English, say in Paris or Berlin, and then going to the Ozark Mountains.
Right. Yeah.
What the hell is this guy saying
Yeah,
again?
yeah.
So it's.
Well, listen, I'm going to make sure that we encourage people, if they want to come and learn the Irish language,
Yeah,
to come and look you up.
yeah. Go to contact the Ridgewood Community School.
Okay. Ridgewood Community School.
Yeah.
And as for Bob, what's your last name?
Burke.
Bob Burke.
Well,
The one
they're
that's
gonna-
alive. The one that's still alive.
And there's a beginner's class, too. You don't
Yes,
have to
yes,
have
yes.
any experience.
You can just take it.
You can just
Yeah.
take the
What
class.
better? You know what? What better gift for St. Patrick's Day for someone that loves the Irish traditions? What better gift for St. Patrick's Day than signing them up with Bob Burke
Yeah.
to learn a little bit of Irish?
Yeah.
Do it. You'll love it.
And
It's so much fun.
you really don't understand the culture until you understand the language,
Yeah,
because there's
I
so
get
many little idiosyncrasies
It's
that
true. Very religious.
Religion plays a big part in
Sure.
it. When we come in, I say Giaguch, which essentially means God to you.
Giaguch.
Yeah, that's how you say hello.
That's how you
and then
say
Mike would
Giaguch?
come back and say Gias Mutaguch,
Gias Mutaguch.
God and Mary to you. So you got to go up
They're
one.
one up on each other all the time.
And you keep going
God
back
and
and forth.
married to you.
Is there a
Yeah.
limit, like to how many times you can bless each other?
I don't know.
There's no limit.
And then, oh, it's a nice day today. Wichas with Gia. Thanks be to God.
Gia is God.
Yes.
Gia is God.
Way of kisses, gratitude, and thanks. Right?
Yeah. So
Wichas
anything
with Gia.
that happens that's nice, it's always Wichas with Gia.
Right. If it's not nice, it's always the other guy.
Oh yeah. It's
Well,
just,
thank you so much. I
hey,
really appreciate
thank you.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But if anybody's interested, just contact the Ridgewood Community School.
Oh, look at now he's promoting himself.
Yeah.
How about
Oh yeah,
that?
well,
It's worth it. It's so much fun. I think I've taken that class 4 times.
Oh, have you
myself.
really?
The beginner class. Because, you don't become fluent in it, but you learn a lot. And you sit around in a circle with Bob and other students and just talk back and forth to each other.
yeah,
And you learn it slowly.
That's awesome.
So it helped me
Yeah.
to take it again because there's different people. And Bob
Yeah.
helps you
Yeah,
reinforce
that's
what you learned the first time.
and I this past weekend I was up in Esopus at the Maris Brothers Retreat Center, and Dalty na Gaeilge, which is an Irish language organization, had a weekend there. And there had to be 120 people.
Wow.
It's immersive.
Yeah,
They all just know
and,
with the intention
and
of
when
all
you're
speak
there,
Irish.
you should try to use the language for the whole weekend.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
I
it's,
mean,
it
obviously,
is immersive.
for
It's the best way to learn.
some
is.
people can't do that, you know, but it's...
Hey, you tried over in the islands over.
yeah.
It worked. He goes now and been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, so when it didn't work for me on the island in 2003, I've gone back every year except for this damn pandemic.
Yeah, yeah.
And I spend, there's a course through Galway University. It's a non-credit thing for adult learners. So I go there for 2 weeks. It's an intense course. It starts at 9 in the morning and goes to 9 at night. But you have time for lunch and dinner.
Sure.
And then at 9, you go to the pub to practice what you learn.
Of course.
That's all we're
A
doing.
true
is
Irishman
practicing.
always ends up at the pub.
All right, Bob.
Thank you,
Hey,
Bob.
It's good to see you, Bob.
Hey, good
We'll
seeing
chat
you.
another
Nice
time.
to meet you. Hopefully
Nice
some
meeting
people will
you.
come
Take
in
care.
and check out your
Thank
class.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Bob. Take it easy.
That's awesome.
Oh, is there any other way to do it?
No.
How do you say that in Irish? Take it easy.
Togboge.
Tok Mogain.
Togaboge. Togaboge.
Bog.
Oh,
B-O-G.
Tog
Tog. Take.
Tog.
Boge.
Bogay.
Togaboge.
Take it easy.
Tog Bogay.
See you,
Slan.
Bob.
Tog
Slan.
Bogay. I got to remember that one. Slancha. Everybody, yeah.
Slan.
That's,
Slancha means health.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
when you're saying
yeah.
goodbye to someone in Ireland, you say slan. That also means health.
oh, Slan.
Slan.
Abbreviated.
Yeah.
Slancha is usually like to your health.
Slancha, but the ch part is the to you. It's health to you.
Oh,
Slancha.
okay, Slancha.
But if you just say slan, it's just saying health. That's how they say goodbye.
Okay. See, look at that. This is a free Irish lesson, but if you want to get more, look up Bob Burke at the Ridgewood Community School.
Yeah.
So tell people the kind of products that they're going to find here. We're going to show a little bit, but
Yeah.
for you guys that are listening to this, tell them some of the things that they'll find here.
We try to cover a lot of stuff, a lot of bases in a small store. It's a small store. When we first looked at it, we thought it's not big enough, but
Yeah.
it actually is. And we have a lot of jewelry. We have a lot of Claddagh jewelry, Trinity jewelry, Claddagh rings, a lot of things.
Celtic knots.
Celtic crosses, even handmade Celtic wedding bands from Ireland.
Really?
And engagement as well.
Wow.
It's hard to find handmade stuff anymore,
Yeah,
but in
that's true.
Ireland, there's still a lot of craftsmen that are doing it. We've got beautiful woolens, so sweaters, scarves, socks, even handmade socks.
Well, it's hard to find anything that's not made in China anymore.
It really is.
That's made in the actual country.
Yeah, and in the case of the socks, for example, it's called Irish Cottage Socks. It's made by a single guy and his son. They've
Really?
been doing it for 40 years.
In
You
Ireland?
call him up, his name's John, and you ask him, tell him, how many socks do you want? And he's like, I can't give you 4 dozen. I'll ask him for 4 dozen. That's way too many. I'll give you 2 dozen. He's like, do you know how long it takes me to make these socks? And we kind of haggle back and forth with him. So it's very personal business. Most of these companies we're dealing with are a handful of people, maybe one person,
Yeah.
maybe just the artist. So that's been a very rewarding part. So we got, jewelry, clothing, a lot of stuff for kids in this section here.
Beautiful.
A lot of baptismal gifts, a lot of onesies, sweaters for kids, caps, a lot of St. Patrick's Day clothing for kids. But we've also got books, CDs, we've got tons of food. So that was the thing we didn't realize when we first opened, was how popular food was going to be. Everyone came in asking, do you have Irish sausage? Do you have Irish bacon? We thought, no, because we don't know how to do that. We don't know how to sell frozen food.
Yeah.
But then we learned, it's a license you can get from the town. There's an inspection and no big deal. You get a freezer and make sure it's at the correct temperature. So ever since we did that, food has been our biggest seller ever since we opened.
I mean, where else?
Especially frozen food.
Where else are you going to get authentic Irish food?
You can't.
You can't.
But not only is it the frozen food, the candy. We got tons of candy.
Oh,
So
really?
Irish candy is very popular, not just with Irish kids, but with Irish adults.
Hey, listen, come St. Patrick's Day, everybody's Irish. Weeks before, weeks
Yeah, that's
after,
true.
the whole month of March, everybody's Irish.
It's kind of amazed me as a kid how that's true. Like
Yeah,
everyone kind
yeah.
of adopts it. It's nice as an Irish person. It makes you feel like you're accepted in this country.
Sure.
That everyone wants to kind of adopt your identity for a month.
Yeah,
That's a good thing. But we've got lots of stuff. We've got caps. We've got throws for your house. We've got beautiful artwork for the walls.
Yeah, it's
the blessings. A lot of the blessings. Ireland is known for blessings.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff you'll find here. And it's as authentic as we can possibly be. A lot of stuff from Donegal, which is my home county. we found a lot of artisans from there, and the stuff is made with pride. Is all you can say.
Yeah, that's
we're
great.
we're trying to avoid stuff made in factories.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's and supporting those cottage type industries, especially because factories have taken over so much of that, and being able to support those little cottages and those little mom and pops that this is their living. I mean, this is their living.
Absolutely. It's hard to make a living in Ireland. It always has been.
Yeah.
But like in places like Donegal, they were famous for their wool. And they spun wool into tweed, and then they became famous for making tweed suits, and people don't really wear tweed suits anymore. It's kind of gone out. Wool in general is not as popular as it used to be. So they've adapted, and now they make caps and all kinds of ties and things.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful when you're a shop owner what you buy, because the way it works is you buy it first and you sell it.
Right.
So you got to be very careful. But you try to figure if you choose quality things that appeal to you, and you're making a reasonably good decision, most likely it's going to sell well. And that's a tricky thing when you're a store owner, is that you don't realize no one tells you how to do it.
Right.
Or what to carry, or when to buy it, or how much to get. Some of this stuff has long lead times. You order it, and 4 months later it's here.
Yeah.
So you've got to really give it a lot of thought. But we're happy it's been successful. I mean, it's almost 7 years now that it's been open. To me, that means we're doing something right. And we managed to open another store right next door, Morningside.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Morningside.
So a lot of people were coming in here to Carrick Mor for religious gifts over many years. And Irish people are religious, and there's religious occasions like baptism, first communion, confirmation, wedding, that you want a special gift for, and you want to browse it yourself and choose it out yourself. So we did carry those things, but our stuff is focused on Ireland, and it's from Ireland. And not everyone is Irish, first of all, and not everyone wants a Celtic cross or a Celtic cross themed baptism gift. So we thought, we'd recently heard that there was a great religious store called McLaughlin in Ridgewood that was very popular for a long time. And they closed, I think, 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So we realized, kind of conserve the community and help grow our business by opening another store just next to ourselves that focuses mostly on religious gifts.
Nice.
But also, a lot of people are maybe spiritual but not religious, trying to make sure they are covered as well.
Right.
So you got meaningful occasions, but you're not a religious person, you're going to find something at Morningside.
Well, and Easter's coming up. I mean, right after St. Pat's is Easter.
Yes.
So it's a great opportunity to come in, go to Mornings. First of all, get your Irish stuff here, and then go right next door and get your religious. And it's not, like you said, it's not labeled any particular sect or any particular denomination.
We're trying to cover a lot of bases there.
Yeah.
We even have Jewish gifts. We're not Jewish ourselves, but we have friends who are that advise us. We're trying to provide gifts for special occasions. And even if you're not religious, you'll find something there.
Sure.
Gifts to support somebody, gifts for someone who's going through a hard time.
And you know what? I see this all the time on Facebook. I know you guys see it too. Whenever someone says, listen, I need prayer, everybody puts their praying hands on. So to be able to come in and get them a little something.
Yes.
And drop it off, put it in their mailbox, drop it off on their porch, and just say, hey, I'm thinking about you, praying about you.
Yes.
And it's those kind of things. It's support.
I agree with that. I mean, that's support. That's caring for the people. At the heart of all religion is love.
Yeah.
Love for other people, love for your neighbor. All religions agree on that, I think. And treating people the way you want to be treated, that's also common to all religions. That's what we're trying to do. We figure, the world could use more of that, I think, for sure.
Absolutely.
Glen Rock, our community, which Carrick Mor was never just about, making money for us, for sure. It was about filling a space in our town, being a part of the community, supporting the local community organizations that we do, supporting the Little League teams, the performances in the schools. So Morningside is along that same theme. We're occupying another store. That's good for the town. We're kind of providing a complementary business to what we do here.
Sure.
In a sense. And we're trying to express things that we think a lot of people is maybe a universal support for others.
So this is where you get your Irish blessing. You go next door for all the other blessings.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, and that's the other thing. You bring up a good point. This whole thing, this whole Towncast started with the same idea. It's love of community, love of the people, the businesses, and what I keep trying to tell everybody, and I keep I'm going to harp on it all the time, is it's easy, and I'm guilty of it. We all are. It's easy to go online, find something, click, and it'll be delivered to your house.
Yes.
But wherever you shop, whether it's Amazon, Walmart.com, all the .coms, they're not supporting the Little League team.
They're not.
They're not supporting the school plays. They're not pitching in and doing these outings that, now that it's, almost the end of this pandemic, that there's going to be a lot more activities outdoors. And that's why I love little stores like yours that do that support the community. And that's why I always, for you guys listening and for you guys watching, these are the kind of stores, these are the kind of places that you want to endorse, that you want to support, that you want to recommend to other people. When you have people that come to town and say, hey, I want to take you to a great store. Even if you don't need a gift right now, it's a great store, a great place to buy some stuff. So
Thank you.
So I encourage all you guys to come in and talk to my. Is your wife work next door?
She is. I'm not sure she's there right
How great
now.
is that? A great husband
She's
and
there
wife.
most of the time. It's kind of like his and her stores most days.
That's right. So you're right next to each other.
We're next to each other.
But you don't see each other, and you can talk to each other at the end of the day.
We need like a tunnel through the store or something to say hello to each other. We go out front and back. But they're side by side. They're his and her stores.
His and her stores.
That's
I
what
love
we
it.
think.
So again, we're right on Goffle Road. It's Carrick Mor.
Oh,
Right.
Rock Road.
Rock. What did I say?
Goffle.
Goffle.
Rock
We're
Road.
right on Rock Road. Right on Rock Road in Glen Rock. I was going to start saying Glen Rock. And
Yeah.
right in Glen Rock. Right on Rock Road, and it's right next door to Morningside. We're right next door to the Glen Rock Inn. You guys know where the Glen Rock Inn is.
Yep.
Right on the corner. So we're right here, and I'm going to ask you a question now. St. Pat's is coming up.
Yep.
Easter's coming up. If people that are watching or they're listening, if they come in and they say, hey, I heard you on the Towncast.
Yes.
And is there something that you can offer that consumer that comes in?
Absolutely. Anyone who mentions that, we'll give them 10% off their entire order.
Of anything they buy?
Yeah, you ring it all up, 10% off everything.
Wow. All right. So there it is. 10% off. So here
Just
and
mention
Morningstar
the
too?
Towncast.
The his and hers?
At Morningside also. Either
Morningside.
one, we'll give you 10%. It's just really a small promotion to say thank you for coming in because you heard it from Towncast. But we'd like to see Towncast grow too. One of my favorite experiences of last Christmas was going to the It's a Wonderful Life
The screening.
Christmas showing, right, in the Hawthorne Theater. And two things that I loved about it. One of them is that I love the Hawthorne Theater, where you talk about losing things or trying to make sure we support our local businesses.
Absolutely.
We can't let that place go out of business. How many small community theaters exist?
Not many. And
then-
they own two others
Is
that
right?
closed down. They have one in Maple Shade and one in Fair Lawn. They both closed down.
We've got to keep that place open.
Yeah.
That place is a treasure, but also right next to it is a great restaurant, the Celtic Corner. We when we went to that, and the other thing about that event was the movie itself. How many people have seen It's a Wonderful Life on the big screen?
Right.
No one
I'm
has
so
seen it. I had
glad to
never
hear
seen
you
it.
say that.
I loved it.
It was, and I have to say, it was more selfish because I wanted to see it on the big screen. We did it 2 years ago when the pandemic started, and the theater was closed for 8-9 months.
Yes.
And I contacted the owners and I said, listen, make sure that you don't sell it or close it down. If you're ever in trouble, reach out to the community and let's see what we can do. I said, what can we do? I said, well, if you want to rent a theater, one of the screens, you can show whatever you want. We do birthday parties. We do. So I did it 2 years ago. We had maybe 25 people. So it was nice to see this past Christmas have almost 80, 100 people.
Yeah, and it should grow every year, I think. A lot of people,
it's
when
going
I
to be a
told them,
tradition. We're going to do it every single year. We're going to do It's a Wonderful Life.
a lot of people who I mentioned it to, including in here, was like, I got to go to that next year. Because that's one of those few movies that's just like universally loved.
Yeah.
You know, but like no one's seen it on the big
And to
screen.
see it on, I know.
And surrounded by people who were crying, it was awesome. It was
and
awesome.
we showed The Godfather. We had The Godfather screening as well.
Right.
And again, seeing that on the big screen.
Yeah.
And then now we're thinking about doing Godfather 2.
Okay.
We're definitely going to do It's a Wonderful Life this Christmas. So keep an eye out for the notices once we get a little closer to Christmas.
Yes.
And we'll make sure to pack the house and I love it. I'm going to promote you guys too. I love it. At next door, you guys had the little bells.
We had the bells. My wife found them. It's called Bevan. Bevan Bells is the company that made the original bell in the movie.
The
right?
original,
the one that rung on the tree at the end, right? Every time a bell rings. That company is called Bevan Bells. They're still in business. They're located in Connecticut.
Unbelievable.
And they make commemorative bells. They sell.
Still.
And the bell on the front of our store is from them.
It's a
the
Bevan
one that
bell.
you hear. When
Yeah.
That's Bevan Bells. So this was the 75th anniversary, so they made a special.
Yes, it was.
But they always have them every year, and they have smaller ones to hang in your tree as an ornament. I mean, how cool is that?
It's awesome. And again, just browse around, come in, take a look. And you know what? 10% off of anything. So even if you got enough stuff for St. Patrick's Day and you got enough stuff for Easter, guess what? Next year, St. Pat's going to come back around. Easter's going to come back around. And there are a lot of other holidays in between. Come in. Tell them you heard it on the Towncast. Michael's going to take care of you. His wife next door is going to take care of you. And I really love that you have a heart for that kind of support, for supporting the town and supporting the people here.
Thank you. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, for us, it's actually an honor to have a store in the town where we live.
Yeah, yeah.
right? And I'm sure for you to have
Yeah.
to have this towncast in the place where you live.
Absolutely.
So we try to do things that will help this town. I know everyone who lives here in this area loves this community, right? So we own the store. Thank God, it feels great to do it. If you live in your community, support small businesses, support the towncast to see your community grow. You know, to support the organizations in your community, right? That's how it's going to grow. It's not just about selling stuff for us. Never has been. It's about trying to build up the town.
Yeah.
Because the first time I laid eyes on Glen Rock, I knew this is a place that you want to live.
It's such a great.
This
town.
is a unique place.
It is very
How many
unique.
places are there like this?
Not a lot.
All walkable, easy access to the city,
Yep.
right? Great pool, library, schools. It's like the perfect place, right? So you want to not only just live there, you want to participate in it.
Yeah, and then your kids go to the same schools, and everybody sees each other, and you go to
Yes.
events, and everybody's
Yes.
friendly. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
wonderful.
that's what, and it's not, don't take it for granted. It doesn't exist everywhere across the country.
Yeah, no, it
You
does
know,
not.
it doesn't.
No, I've traveled around the world, and these towns, Glen Rock, Hawthorne, Ridgewood, these towns are priceless. They're precious.
They are.
And if we're not supporting these businesses, it's and they go away. It's tragic. It's tragic to see them go away.
True. We won't let them go away.
All right, Michael. Thank you so much.
Nice to be with
And
you, Flavio.
how do you say the going? Not slan.
Oh, they say what? Toga bogie?
Yeah, toga.
Toga bogie. That's how you say take it easy in
Toga
Irish.
boge.
And slancha, which means health, right? To your health.
Right. So toga boge, everybody.
All right, Flavio. Good
All
to
right,
see
be
you.
well. Thank you,
Thanks
Michael.
very much.
All right, be well, everybody.
Take care.